Oh shit! What are in here? This false.
Two gentlemen in the underground association, talking about music and the lifestyle we dream. Sipping on champagne, living in style. Underground penthouse where we reconcile. Discussing the good, the bad, the true. Underground music, what it means to you. Breaking down the beats, dissecting the rhymes, spreading the love, one verse at a time. In our tuxedo, stepping out on the town. Underground penthouse, we hold it down. From the dim lit clubs to the streets at night, we shine a spotlight on the underground spot. Tuxedo, stepping out on the town. Underground penthouse, we hold it down. From the dim lit clubs to the streets at night, we shine a spotlight on the underground smile.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is time to get up in your world. Live right here, coming is Volcano and DJ Oplex, the underground. That's a little bit loud. What's going on with you, brother? You all right? How you feel?
Episode 7, man. Feeling good. Pushing through the week, you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. It's been a long one. We haven't been. Let me stretch out and get comfortable here. You know what I'm saying? Feel like we ain't
For
did
sure.
this in a second. You know,
hey, for sure. I'm telling you, I got to put you on this. I think for now, we might be the world's best pop-up podcast. Round of applause for that, bro.
Yeah, out of nowhere, it's like they popped up and it was like, oh, they just doing it. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know, we gonna get it heavy.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. I am glad to be here. It feels good to get a chance to go ahead and say some ill stuff that has been on the chest and getting some things out here and making sure that we let the folks know that we are relevant, that we do have some things to say. We ain't going nowhere, and we just gonna pop up and lay it out. You know what I'm saying? Right in front of y'all face. So
that's what it is. That's exactly what it is, man.
Now this is the Penthouse, and it can't be more lavish than this. I don't. I'm rugged. I'm in my playoff zone right now. So
listen, we got to talk about the Lions.
Oh my goodness, we talk about these Lions? Clap it up
might as well
for them.
This round of applause. Right.
Yeah, round of applause for Detroit Lions, y'all, and all y'all haters that's been hating, especially. Oh my God. Let's say this to all the Cowboy fans.
Yeah, man, that was crazy, man. I felt as a fan, I really felt that we would win, but I did not. I thought we would win convincing because it was such a close. I felt like we got robbed last year, but I had no idea it would be that bad.
No, I didn't. And when I seen this, because see, I didn't see the game. So I was working doing some other stuff, and I happened to come back and I'm like, let me go ahead and turn this on. And like, man, I missed the game. And I just Google searched the name. And I'm like 47-9. I'm like, whoa. Like, what happened? Like, who did what? Then I kept seeing a bunch of stuff about your boy Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, man.
And shouts out to him.
Yeah, man.
Get better, get
speedy recovery, man.
Yes, please. A big time speedy recovery to him. Did you see the actual play where he?
I saw the play. I saw that play, man, and I still, as far as I could see from the instant replay, it still was difficult for me to see where it happened. I was talking to a coworker, and he said that he got like a shot that they didn't show on the game, and you could kind of see. Basically, said it was a chin on chin, and for him, it was going against the grain.
No, actually, it was leg on leg.
Leg on leg.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I
Okay.
don't know if you happen to, let me see if I can pull up the actual injury, because I seen it. Let me let this play through while I talk about it. What happened is he went in for the tackle, and the way he got spun around.
That's what he mentioned about the spin around part. Yeah, what happened, man?
The way he kind of got spun around, his leg hit somebody else's leg. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me see if I can pull this video up here, and I'm going to let's take a look at this. Let's see if we can see this.
Yeah, it was so they gonna run it back.
Oh, see, they're not.
Yeah, man. I mean, definitely shouts out to Hutchinson. I'm hoping. I'm a little antsy about how that's going to impact our pass rushing game. Obviously, it's going to have impact. You know what I mean? But I mean, he was the best pass rusher in the league.
Here it goes, right here.
All right, here we go. He's
Boom.
running around.
Right, boom, right there. So
oh wow! So it's like two legs colliding.
Yes. So see, they keep blanking it out, but basically, let me do my adaptation here with my fingers. Okay. So
yeah,
he go for the tackle. Boom. Here, I'm coming for the tackle. I'm coming from the tackle. He grabs my man and he flips around. Now, when he flips around, there's another leg that hits his. And when it hits his, it wraps. I mean, he is kind of like do one of these numbers. And it's like flopping around. That was poor. But hey, whatever. This is what you doing. This is what you get on the
No, the impact, and I mean, those guys are athletes, man. They're moving fast, man.
At that speed, him being spun around. I mean, because you can see on the camera, it was hard for them to even like. It's hard for you to see it because it happens so fast.
Jeez,
another person's leg coming in and yours wrapping around it, and it just limp noodle. He's not gonna.
Yeah, and it's like he knew it. He knew it. Like you could tell, he knew it. It's like I'm done.
He definitely knew it, and he's not gonna. I'm hoping that he has a speedy recovery. I don't plan on seeing him anymore this year.
He's out. I think they said.
Just to be
like
clear,
8 to 10 months. So I mean, he's done. Like,
I'm not. Now I don't want to say that his career is done.
They said you can come. They said you can bounce back. Was it the fibula or something like? But they did say you can get back to 100%. So it's not like an ACL or. So that's round of applause for that, man. We need Hutchinson, and he's local, man. Local Michigan player, man.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to that, man. He's definitely a big time. And you got to look at the numbers that he puts up. I mean, sack after sack.
Unbelievable.
He's record breaking on those. And then the guy that they put in right behind it, he came in and he started putting up. I think he got 2 sacks in, you know what I'm saying, or was in on 2 sacks even after that. So shouts out to the Lions for having somebody that can come in, you know, and pick up the page, you know, right where he left off. I after seeing them take out the Cowboys, okay, we have not beat the Cowboys.
It's been a long time since we
beat the Cowboys, and we did that in Dallas
convincingly.
Now, is Dallas a great team this year? They were 3-2 going into the game.
I would say they're average at best this year.
Average at best. Okay, so the Lions went and put up 47-9 in Dallas on an average at best team. That still speaks volume.
It does.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like this is it ain't the Browns. Shouts out to the Cleveland, you know. We got to pick. We from the D. We got to pick on Ohio. Even though I got a lot of fans there. Shouts out to the fam and everything in Ohio.
Shouts out to Cleveland, man. They out there. Oh my God.
So to see that it's not one of those big time marquee teams. I mean, non-marquee teams that we played against. We played against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wasn't the Bears.
Correct. Correct.
Shout out to the Bears.
Bears
Yeah.
winning. Bears looking good. NFC North is on fire right now.
Yes, they are. They are. So it's I'm big about this. I'm really hoping to see that they turn this around and they put people into a position that is going to actually make it, that position, he's whoever comes in has got some big time shoes to fill. And I'm looking forward to him filling those shoes.
That's what's up, man.
So I'm glad, man. I'm saying the Lions all the way. Were they going?
It's definitely Super Bowl, man. Like that's the goal for this season.
That is the goal for this season. I'm projecting them to make it at least back to where they were at last season, and then capitalizing off of their experiences and everything that they have picked up and learned from this year.
Yo, shouts out. I rarely do this, Volcano.
What's that?
Round of applause for Applebee's just because of Dan Campbell, bro.
Now, what did he do with Applebee's?
He's all up in the commercials, man. He's doing Applebee's commercials. He's like the kitchen manager, and he makes sure he gets behind the line and get that team right, man.
Oh my
serve
God.
you the best processed food you ever had in your life.
I haven't eaten at Applebee's, and so man, I couldn't tell you the last time I ate at an actual.
You don't be digging them baby back ribs?
No, man, no. No, I cook ribs. I don't go to Applebee's for ribs. Like, oh man.
In my 20s, I had no problems taking women. Shouts out to all the ladies. I had no problems taking women to Applebee's. In my 20s, that was legit. And if you felt like, you know what I mean? I know that's nothing nowadays, man. Nowadays, you got to pay women for them to actually go out.
For them to actually go with you. Yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
So
we in the age of simping. So
you have to pay them to be there. I can't speak to that. I ain't gotta go through that. Luckily, yeah.
The round of applause for a good marriage. I know you got one.
Exactly,
man.
exactly. Round of applause for that one here. We gotta keep
out to all.
We're gonna keep this funky. We're gonna keep this funky. Because boy, I swear everything. If I go back to that, whoo-wee.
Right?
No, I can't tell. I do recall it being kind of like a chill spot. You can sit there and focus on the Boonopolis real quick. I mean, you couldn't even get over with Cheesecake Factory nowadays. So and Cheesecake Factory slap. You know what I'm saying?
Then Cheesecake Factory is a reputable place to go to, man. And it's some sisters out here that have put Cheesecake Factory at an Applebee's level, Olive Garden level. I rebuke that statement from those women, man. I'm not even a pastor.
I think over time, each one of these places diminished in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying?
Olive Garden is definitely old, but it's kind of place.
Yeah. It's through. I've been going to Olive Garden since high school. All right. Swag and Sounds.
All right, man. Yeah. So Swag and Sounds, man. I do want to talk about this series that I've been watching on Netflix, and I've always seen it. I think they're on like season 4 or 5 right now, but it's called I Am a Killer. And I like true crime, but I could tell you're gonna be like listening to someone in prison, and if you killed somebody, I really don't want to sit there and like listen to how you are a killer. But the first episode, man, it focuses on a brother that was in state care probably by 8 years old, got into the gang life, ends up killing. Basically, he was doing a hit on a drug dealer. He had the wrong house. They came in, the lights were off, right? He didn't wear a mask. They turned the lights on. It's not the drug guy, right? It's an older white lady. And he's like, well, she saw my face. He takes her out, right? But his mom ends up being on that show. It focuses on, you look at the statistics, this guy being in foster care at a very early age, mom on drugs, was given over to the aunt. Aunt got tired of him because he became a knucklehead. Obviously, moms, you know what I mean? If you feel like your mom don't love you, that's a lot. He never knew his dad.
Right.
And so I'm just saying the show has a lot of depth to it. and I'm definitely here for it now. So
Is it you saying it's a documentary or is
it's
it?
yeah, it's a documentary, and they don't dramatize the crime. They just have kind of like the killer, the police, family members, and then you get the backstory behind the killer, like what happened in their lives, like before they did the killing. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that one up and watch that one.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. I finally tapped into it. Like I said, I think they're on episode 4 or 5.
Okay.
But it's been going, and you can just bounce around because each episode is a different thing, right? But yeah, man. I mean, I like that. It kind of humanizes. It doesn't justify. Let me say that it doesn't justify what the person did, but it does humanize them a little bit. Like you know what I mean?
Got you.
Puts it in context. You know
That's yeah. So I'm gonna have to pull that one up and watch that one. That's interesting. I like getting into some of the documentaries and things that are out there. And speaking of documentaries, I've been on this one. I finally watched the whole thing, and I'm glad I got a chance to. But I got, and I know I imitate his voice on here every now and again, but I had to watch Mr. McMahon.
Shouts out to Vince McMahon.
Shouts out to Vincent K. McMahon. Now I had to. I'm a big, huge fan of wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling in years, and then out of nowhere, every time Rock came back, that's when it got fun to me. That's when it got interesting to me. That's when I wanted to start watching again. And this time that he came back, I'm like, okay, there's a lot more on the table right now. I see what direction they're trying to go. I see what they're adding on. I like Triple H at the helm, but this takes it back to the very beginning of Vince even getting the company, acquiring the company, starting it up, working with his father, working with the wrestlers. All these guys really like worked hand in hand with Vince. Everything you was seeing going on out there on the stage was him behind the scenes with the headphones on. Okay, now drop them like this. And the ref, like if you see how they actually orchestrated it, and this kind of shows it from the steroid stuff and Chris Benoit and Owen Hart passing, and all of this stuff is encompassed in every last the big time fight with WCW and bringing the bar Austin. All of these things are encompassed in this show. It was really, really a great thing to watch, especially if you're a big time wrestling fan.
I mean, I was, man. I kind of fell off once I found out it was fake, but I mean, I definitely hit that. You know what I mean? Ric Flair, Macho Man, Jake the Snake, back, junk, all that. WWF, I was crazy about it. I had the ring, I had the wrestlers. I was all about it.
See, it was all the thing is, it was always fake. It's just that it was never really pinged as entertainment until it got to a specific point to where they started calling it sports entertainment.
Okay.
And it even shows that transition. It shows how that came about. It shows all these things encompassed in it. I think it's a really good watch if you're a fan of WWE or wanted to kind of see some of the behind the scenes stuff that happened. I think it was shot like right before the allegations and everything came up, and then it finished off right after.
Okay.
This last bout of allegations and everything came up, and you can see, man, it was a lot. It was a lot that these guys went through. It's a lot that these guys put their bodies through, man. Shouts out to each one of them. And they rolled for Vince. Like they rolled for Vince because he was filling their pockets. But yeah, watch Mr. McMahon on Netflix. Check that out, especially if you're a fan of the show.
That's what's up, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I may actually check that out tonight. It's in queue. It's in queue.
Yes, it is. So now, I know we jump in here, but we want to move because I want to get to.
Let's get to it. Let's get right to it. Hey, let's get into the culture talk.
So you brought this to my attention here.
I got to bring it to your attention, man, because before we get into this,
if you see this on the bottom, you see.
You already know where we're going with this. Now, I try to allow people to do their thing. You know what I mean? Everybody has to do them. You know what I mean? She ain't hurting me. And she really doesn't look to be hurting anybody else. But I am asking, is Angel Reese doing too much?
Now, okay, I imagine that this came about because she did the appearance on stage and she came out wearing what she was wearing. Um,
She came out with the booty shorts.
okay, so my question is, you said
I
is
mean,
she doing too much?
is she doing too much? And
Mm,
mind you, today I saw that she's kind of complaining. Her rent's $8,000 a month, and
okay,
she's saying that she only makes 70 plus K from
okay,
the
that's it.
WNBA. Can I get a boo to the WNBA
Oh, I ain't got no
if
boo sound
she's
effect.
getting if she's getting 70K
Okay,
a year? Then you get why they got to go over and risk their lives in Russia to
yes,
play. You know what I mean? They go over to Russia after basketball practice and smoke a vape, and then you
yes,
never see them again because
right.
they're making freaking 60, $70,000
That's it per
a
year.
year. But I do want to say, is she doing too much? Just because she's popping up a lot in pop culture, and I don't know, it's just a little questionable at times. At
So
times, I'm feeling like you need to kind of calm down a little bit, Angel.
so let me do this here because my thinking is this: you a woman and you got the body parts to do it.
Okay.
Then if you got a better flaunt it, let the liquor help you get up on it. I mean, in the words of Tupac, So I think the fact that she has it, and then I heard another Instagram girl. She was talking about it. She was like, why can't we associate um even though she's a WNBA player, why can't we associate her with just being a sexy woman outside of the fact that she plays WNBA? Does she have to be looked at as sexy when she's on the court also? Because I mean, she's there to work. That's when she's working.
Right.
Hair ain't done 100%. She out there and whatever it is. Okay, she's not trying to be sexy. She's trying to play ball, but
Right.
she still is a typical woman who
She
has
got that swag that she want to wear booty shorts like on the court though.
and you know what? In my opinion,
That's a whole different league.
let them. I think they would get a lot more. Unfortunately, as a man, let me say this: they probably would get a whole lot more attention than the WNBA. Like, let them wear the stuff that they wear. Like
Yeah.
let them play. Like you see, did you see the what's the football league with the women that they got on football pads? But
Oh
they
yeah, I saw that. I
titles and
saw
everything?
that.
Yeah, I mean, let them play. Let them hoop in that. I'm I'm willing to bet you if they hoop in that, then I mean you get a whole lot more, turnout and watch of the WNBA. Even though right now you seeing an uptick in the amount of people that's actually watching the WNBA.
Absolutely.
I'm saying though, if you think about it, and I'm going with my Jerry Buss mind state, like it can go through the roof. It can go through the roof if you just add on that little bit of extra.
It can, but I think what's important that this kind of goes back into little girls look up to her. She is a basketball superstar at this point, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think that goes back to the never-ending argument of on default, do you have a responsibility because of your position? You are kind of a role model on default.
Yes.
You know, Charles Barkley always said he didn't like that line. He didn't like the fact that because I'm an NBA player, society wants to say I must be a good person because little kids are going to love the way I play basketball. They're going to look up to me. So, what's your take on that? Because my stance is if you expect a certain level of professionalism from her on and off the court, then she's probably not meeting your quota based on how she's behaving right
Well,
now. If
here,
you're more liberal, right, and you say, like you said, when she's off the court, she's off the court, then she's not doing too much. What you got?
so here's my take on that. When I'm on the court, that's when I'm a role model. When I'm off the court, I'm not role model anymore. like I clocked out. Like I'm on break. Like
Yeah. That's fair.
I'm not role model no more. I am Angel Reese. You know, I am this person. This is me off the court.
Right.
Right, exactly. Like let me do my dance, let me shake my ass, you know, and that's me. That's who I become. I'm not working right now. So just like this, okay. This is her off the court.
Okay.
All
okay.
right.
Daisy Duke song.
Yeah, exactly.
Sports bra, basically.
She's making an appearance, probably at a game or something. She like she's courtside. Okay, she's showing up, doing her. Okay, she getting ready to ready to get suited up.
That's actually it's like rat classy, like it's halfway between ratchet and classy.
Now, is that doing too much? What she's doing right there? No, of course. Like I said, if you got
I like that outfit. It's right on the edge of being too much.
This is her. This is the person that she actually is.
Then I can't. I feel you
there. And what happens? Okay, what
that's
happens?
A lot. That's a lot there.
What happened is we tend to try to associate this person that we're looking at right now with the same person that's on the court. Just like we talked about this show, Mr. McMahon. They even separated it and said that Vince is Vince, but Mr. McMahon is the character. You see what I'm saying?
So how do you feel about that? Like,
I feel like we're all allowed to have this character that we want to be, that we want to take and present to the world, and that can still be in essence the real us, the real me. You know what I mean? We can be all these things, but when it comes down to somebody looking at me, it's almost as if they say they're going to view me and what I do to determine if the message that I give them is relevant or not. When I shouldn't be judged by who I am, you should still take the message from me, especially if it is impacting you in a positive manner. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is her dressing like this in a non-positive manner? I mean, you can probably say so, but she's one of the millions and millions of other women who are attractive, shapely, and have the ability to be able to flaunt it the way that they do. So do you knock her for it? She's young, she's making money, she's doing what she wants to do. Why shouldn't she be able to dress the way that she wants to dress? Now, if she had an OnlyFans, which I'm sure would fulfill, the needs of lots of people, but at the same time,
she probably just do the toes.
Yeah, exactly.
She's going to try to stay in the WNBA.
Exactly. Now, if she was doing that, that's one thing, but she's not doing that. She's still keeping it. Even the videos that I show, let's spin that back. You know what I'm saying? For those who missed it, let's spin it back. All right.
Yeah.
I'm saying next. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's spin it back. This is Angel Reese. Is that doing too much? No, she's doing her. Boom. She's being herself. So let her be herself. But when she on the court, as long as she putting up numbers, cool. If she see a little girl courtside, cool. She ain't gonna see a little girl in the club. She ain't got no business.
But I'm saying now you threw in youth. So are you saying if she's doing this at 32, I don't know how old she is.
Right.
That might be it. So the older she gets, so you kind of giving her a pass because she is young and her body is kind of in its prime right now. And women do this, right? You're young, like you said, shapely is good. What I'm saying is if she was 35, you still say she's not doing too much?
If she was a 35-year-old married mother of 1, 2, or whatever, then yes, it's doing too much. Okay. Know your role and shut your mouth. Like sit down and be there. I just seen an interview with Glorilla, and which I don't want to go too in depth with her, but somebody she even mentioned that people be trying to get her knocked up, and she like, no, I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that because I love my freedom. I love the freedom to go ahead and be me. and she recognizes that position that she's in. If she were, she would have to change up her whole scope of things. That's why people look at Cardi still kind of funny. Like, you got a daughter now. Like, you really still doing the same stuff you're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now let's flip to another thing. Since we're bringing up rappers in the same essence of this, Megan Thee Stallion.
Now, if you look at this here, right,
Is that a role model?
She gets the exception. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, the worldwide listeners. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say when I say this. She gets an exception because she's a rapper.
But why is
this is normacy for rap? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know what I mean? If there's any bit of spirituality in it, you have to question why. But
okay.
You saw Glorilla hanging out with Sexy Red. What did they have on? A two-piece chinchilla, moose knuckles out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
These are things that rappers, like I said, shouts out to the Set the Bar Mix Show group. Rappers and fashion, it gets weird.
So, okay. So if Megan is able to do this freely, and there's no problem, there's no issue whatsoever.
I have no issues with Megan doing
you that. Have no now. If Angel Reese does this,
right,
that's a problem.
That's it can be somewhat of a problem because this isn't typical WNBA behavior.
So so now here's another question that I ask: are rappers basically a lower form of human than basketball players? You know what I mean? Like, are rappers and entertainers a lower form of
no?
Like, this is she's a good wholesome girl, and then there's Megan Thee Stallion, who's a rapper, and really, what up though? Really, is that what the situation is?
No. See, here's the thing. Here's my theory on this, right? And I don't want to get long-winded here. Rappers, I was listening to a new song that Snoop Dogg is on.
Okay.
And this song is talking about putting things on women's faces and telling them to drink it up. Snoop hops on this song.
Okay.
Snoop also was just in the Olympics. Snoop is also on The Voice.
Okay.
Did I see him in a Verizon commercial? Is he doing a cell phone company now? Corona. So what I'm saying is, I think when you're dealing with rappers, when it comes to marketing, are kind of like comedians. Like comedians can get on that stage, say F your mom, F gay people.
You laugh at it.
You laugh at it, but these are harsh messages, right? And then still companies don't have a problem with risking their reputation, right? Yeah. With dealing with Drewski or Dave Chappelle. Drewski has Google commercials. Have you seen what Drewski
does? I did see it. I did see this.
I mean, so I think outside of comedians, rappers have that same kind of allure and power with entertainment where somehow businesses are able to separate that. You could come out showing your body and say all kinds of horrendous things, but we still want you to be an influencer for our brand.
But see, at the same time, that's Snoop though. Snoop is Snoop. He is going to be Snoop. He is going. There's no way.
He's at a point to where I'm wondering, is he still black?
Right, exactly. And people love him. No, but he is still black. But
he is. That's a joke.
The thing is, Snoop figured out the universal language. Marijuana. He is a huge advocate.
He is.
For the universal language of here. Yeah. you see what I'm saying? Like in some way, shape, or form, everybody has touched it, everybody has seen it, everybody has smelled it, everybody has in some way possibly partaken of it, Whether you ate it, whether you sipped it, you
Yeah.
cooked with it, you did everything.
Y'all saw what happened to Bill Clinton. That didn't work.
Oh man.
Just say you smoked the joint.
Yeah, just say you hit it. Like if I was Bill, I'd be like, man, I heard that. What about Monica? I hit that too. you know what I mean? I just let it loose. Like I'm the president. What you expect? I played saxophone.
And you just nailed his Arkansas accent too, man. Round of applause to Volcano. He nailed Bill Clinton.
Yeah, because he just came up out of nowhere. Like, yeah, I heard that. Like, you sure in the Oval Office and in the White Room, all that. Yeah, I played saxophone.
He's always had that raspy voice.
I played saxophone for her. And then the next thing you know, it was, the polls are up. So,
oh man, the polls are up. Lord have mercy.
So yes, man, he knows this. He's done stuff with Martha Stewart, everything else, man. Come on, man. That's Snoop. Everybody loves Snoop, man.
That's what's up. All right, let's pivot. In other news, I feel like some of my hip hop heads should know about this. So apparently, and these are all facts, right? That I saw come out of Pete Rock's mouth. Apparently, CL Smooth was on Drink Champs with Nori. Okay. And he said that he would
have it up for Noriega.
Nori in the building.
He does that. He gets on my nerves doing that shit. He would be in the middle talking like, yeah, just coming over the drinks. Are you gonna pour up? You gonna pour up? Yeah.
When drinks start kicking in.
Man, go ahead. Let you finish, my bad.
Yeah, so Pete Rock basically said that CL Smooth said on Drink Champs that he would love to link back up with Pete Rock, right? And if you know about 90s hip hop, you should know that Pete Rock and CL Smooth were one of those groups. They were able to they had a signature sound for sure.
Mm-hmm.
New York City, and it was Mecca and the Soul Brother, and it was conscious hip hop, and it was round of applause for Pete Rock and CL Smooth. It was really good for the culture.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So what came out of that was that Pete Rock responded on another podcast that he is not interested. It was very assertive about it, and so much in a way that where I felt like maybe either they've grown apart or there's something is blocking the energy for them to be able to come together. The point being, let me ask you this, because I know you were disappointed with Pete Rock and Common.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about, would you have been excited if it was Pete Rock and CL Smooth?
I mean, I would have listened just for the nostalgia and everything of it, for the fact that they got back together and they actually made it. I would have been in some way, shape, or form excited to see it. Just like I'll be excited to see if there was a Nas and AZ album. Which would be dope. Because I heard AZ's last album. It was dope.
Solid.
It was very solid. So it's Nas still be killing it. So to see somebody like them come back with it, yes, I would give it a chance and I would give it a listen. You saw how excited I was for Rakim when he dropped in. So yes, as a nostalgia to the culture and to them, yes, I would have wanted to see that. More so than with a Common and Pete Rock, because Common lost me ever since Electric Circus, and I ain't went back.
Yeah, he's a really, really good artist. He's kind of two-dimensional though, and I think that's why when we talk about the greats, unfortunately, like Common often doesn't come up, but I think he has his own lane. No one else sounds like him, and at least we know that Common isn't going to do anything in terms of hip hop to hurt the culture, right?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? In best case, you could get some good music. I just thought that was interesting because,
but
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
See, my thing is Common is so monotone and just
yeah.
I don't know. When I and again, like I said, I was listening to it while I was working, like in the middle of like some high activity work, and Common is on, and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Like this is I'm like, this ain't doing it for me. Like it's almost like working out the Sade. Like this, you know,
you gave me
like,
the kiss of life.
it's like kiss of life. This is not the song to pump iron to. And this Pete Rock in Common was not the song to pump iron to. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no.
Hearing it in that setting was like, man, turn this off. And I had a bad taste in my mouth about it ever since. It reminded me of Electric Circus, which Electric Circus was extremely poor and just
it was.
I don't know what he was trying.
You know what is weird about that album that there's other people that think that album is a classic. So it's a very polarized album when you get out in the hip hop culture and start asking. But I've had people tell me they hate that album. I thought it was very average. I thought it was one of his weakest albums for me. And I know other people that absolutely think the album's a classic. So it's music, man, right?
It's music. It relates to somebody.
Which I mean,
is cool.
It gets very subjective. I feel that we need to go ahead and get this great debate on because I think we're gonna spend some time on that. Yeah. Speaking of subjectivity, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The great debate, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Is none other than who's awkward, me or you. I'm gonna give the floor to Chris Volcano. Explain this great debate right here.
Put the music in the background for this here.
Who's awkward?
Let me do this. I'm gonna dial this back as much as I possibly can. Now, the reason this is apparent, you ever had one of those situations where you just kind of like been feeling some kind of way about a person, or maybe even if you weren't, maybe if you had something in the back of your mind that stood out to you about this particular person, and then next thing you know, they happen to appear, or you happen to speak to them, you happen to cross paths, and the interaction could have went genuine. The interaction could have been like, hey, how's it going? Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. What's been up? This, that, and the other. And you decide that your take from that is, that was awkward. There was something awkward about it. And I really need to know, like, does the awkward feeling or the like, that was odd feeling, does that really come from the person or is it from you? Like, are you the one that really has this bad thought about the person because of whatever reason? Are you the one that actually has this situation going on? And for whatever reason, when you see this person, like, yeah, something was different. So who's awkward?
All right, so let's
go ahead.
Let's get into it. This is what I want to say. Let's deal with moments in our lives that we know are awkward. Here's just an awkward position to be in. Being in an elevator is kind of awkward. And the reason I say that is because if you come in an elevator and you're like socially lit, like, hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? That's going to be awkward because that space is so tight. You can kind of get a head nod. People don't like kicking it in the elevators. You're in a tight little box and it just feels awkward. So everyone's kind of quiet. Think about it.
Okay. That's one level of it.
Now, here's another one. Using the restroom in a public bathroom is awkward. If you have ever experienced number two with someone next to you in that stall, you had no choice. Obviously, no one is banking on being there, right? Sometimes you just can't hold it, right?
Yeah.
And so you're there, you dropping yours, he's dropping his. It's awkward, bro.
Now is okay. Is that really awkward? Or is it?
I don't want to really hear, like, I'm good with the sound effects, bro.
So
I only want to hear mine.
So okay, so which is what I was gonna lead to.
But that's on me. That's on me, though.
Okay, is it awkward or is it happenstance that you end up in that situation where you're in one stall and this person's another stall? But to me, awkward is he'd be like, hey, that was a good one. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that was nice. Like
That
he
was
reached
some
or he
that
reached up
that
under
was
the
some
thing,
good
like,
ish, my man.
yeah, exactly. Like he reached under there with some toilet paper, like, hey, you need some of this, my
That's
guy.
awkward. That's awkward.
That's awkward
That's
to me.
awkward. That's
And,
absolutely awkward.
and I guess I should probably frame the question a little bit better or a little bit different, and to say, um, it's more like say you had some kind of interaction or a run in with the person before that it could have went negative,
Okay.
and then you see this person again. Now the negative situation is over with. It's clear. You bygones have been bygones, shook hands,
Yeah.
walked away, or whatever. And then you run back into this person again, and then there's that bit of awkwardness. That's
Yeah.
I guess that's another question of what I'm asking. Is that you, or is that person, or is it the interaction? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm tending to have this belief that um we have this saying on the wall: it's not what you look at, is what you see.
Mhm. Say
Um,
more.
so if I look at this situation, I just ran into this person, and I know in the back of my mind there's this one situation that I didn't feel 100% about. You know, I felt some kind of way about that situation that we had. Even though this person might not feel the same way, I
Right.
feel.
Yeah.
So now my energy that I'm giving off is a little bit different.
Correct.
Is it now?
See, I think you would be making it awkward, right? Because
Correct.
I think you would be making it awkward. Where in some cases that other person may be totally good, and it's all in your head. Like, you see what I'm saying? In your head, it's awkward. To them, it's normal, and they're kind of like, "Dang, why you acting so funny?" They're over it.
Correct. They are over it. And so do you keep this awkwardness going, or do you check yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm making it weird.
Yeah, like my therapist likes to say, cotton candy thinking, man. Like, I think it's probably better to just put it on the table, right? If you still, like, for instance, you were saying like something happened, still not quite over it. Now you're interacting with that person. If it's at a level to where you can tell it's shifting your energy, you might as well just sit down and build with that person and say, hey, and handle that. Like, you see what I mean?
Okay, but and that sounds great. That sounds excellent. And I think more people should do that. Like, hey, you know what? There's a little bit of tension.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not giving it, you might not see it, but I still got something on my chest.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
sit down and talk about it. Now, you never know exactly which direction this is going to go. Okay. You never really know how to expect it to go, but you're saying it's still the best to go ahead and get that hashed out right then and there.
I'm saying it. If not, every time you see that person, that same vibe is probably going to happen again. So it's like, either be okay with you feeling that way when that person is around, or to resolve that feeling, actually build with that person to go ahead and resolve that with that person, so that, you know what I mean. The next time, if y'all sharing space together, then it's over, and then
Okay,
everything can be even killed. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Um, I think there are steps and everything to that. One is accepting, and I say this to people all the time: accepting your role in the scenario also.
Yes.
I think in order for somebody to really be able to come to grips with what we're about to talk about, they need to have looked in the mirror and realized, like, okay, this is what I did also.
Right.
And be prepared for the interaction and everything that might come off, but still allow it to uh, see. I think I tend to think that some people don't know how to resolve issues, and that's what keeps it awkward.
Yeah. Then now we're just talking about maturity. Let me give you a perfect example,
That's
because
maturity. Good word.
it's funny that we're talking about this. So I had a performance, had a showcase a couple weeks ago. Bumped into someone I hadn't seen in a while. um, it actually kind of ghosted me, right?
Okay.
But knew the setup. Things get overwhelming. That's the go-to. Immature as heck, but you just ghost the person, right?
Okay.
So I was wondering, was I going to see this person because they work at the place I was performing at? And so when I was at that place, I got a show to do, and as soon as I'm coming in, of course I see her, and so you know, it's this whole vibe of she's kind of doing the I'm going to act like you don't exist,
Mm.
and I'm kind of like, okay, that's awkward. I'm over it. You know what I did, bro? I went right up to her and I just gave her that and kept moving. Like, you're not gonna have me feeling awkward because you're gonna sit here and watch my show because because you work here and that's what you do, right?
Okay.
But you're not gonna speak to me and you're not gonna act like we didn't used to engage each other. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I cut the butter with a hot knife and was just like, hey, I see you, and just kept moving. I didn't want to chop it up with her or anything. You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
You're not gonna have me feeling weird because she don't want to speak to me.
Mm.
Like, you know
Correct.
what I mean?
Yeah. So you did a good justice by reaching out to her in that particular manner.
Right.
Now,
Because that cut the awkwardness for me.
right. Now, if she
That
had
cut it.
retaliated with that,
She could have. She could have left me hanging. You see
right?
what I'm saying? She could, you
Or
know what I
she could have
mean?
elevated, like, hey, man, I don't mess with you, like, man, no,
Right.
it could have went in that direction, but you at least opened it up in that particular form and manner, and it went in a positive direction.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Okay, that's what I think that some folks need to actually do, and it's kind of like overcoming a demon. It's kind of like overcoming like this
Wow.
bottled up feeling and everything that you have. Like, because if not, you just get one and get another and get another, and it just piles up until the point where you just about to explode.
Yeah, it's stressful to hold that stuff in.
And it becomes that. It is exactly that. It is stressful. I've had a situation where there was one particular person that I basically kind of came to me with some information that I did not need. Okay. And because of this information, I kind of like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm straight.
Okay.
I don't have to have any interactions with it whatsoever. I cut it loose. And I even told it like, hey, you know what? I told the person the last time I spoke to them, like, I'm smart enough to know, you know, what to get myself into and what not to get myself into. And I'm also, spiritual enough to know that when a demon has arisen and
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
to remove myself from that. And that's what I pretty much expressed. And it ended up being at a funeral that I ran into this person again. And I seen and
Okay.
recognized that they were there, and I avoided it completely
Mm.
because I felt like I deaded the conversation long before.
Yeah.
And in the midst of that, this person came and approached me and tapped me on the shoulder, like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, okay, so we here now.
Right.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, what were you expecting to happen after I deaded the situation? You see what I'm saying? What
So
were
for
you?
you, that was a clean sever. I'm done.
It was a clean sever. I am done with this. So what were you expecting to happen after this? You see what I'm saying? Like, what interaction were you expecting? Was it like, oh, you see me and I know you see me, you're going to acknowledge me? This ain't wrestling. This ain't Roman Reigns. Like, this, like, you not, I don't have to acknowledge you when I told you I don't want to have any acknowledgement whatsoever.
Well, I think that's boundaries. I think that's
Yes. And
simple boundaries. If you told a person, I don't want to be bothered anymore, they shouldn't call you. They
yeah,
shouldn't pull up. They
yes,
should leave you. If you're in the same room with them, they should treat you as if you don't exist. If
exactly.
you tell them you don't want to be bothered.
If you tell them that this is not the situation, and that approaching made it even more awkward. That made an awkward situation.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
again, I have to recognize
Okay.
my role in this
Okay. Okay.
and realize, okay, could I have just went ahead and acknowledged the fact that she was there and just took it and ran? Um if I was that accepting to whatever information and everything came, if I was that accepting to it, do I just live in that moment and just allow it to
I
grow
think
into something larger, or do I just go ahead and say, oh, and act like I'm
nah.
going to be cool? Like, hey,
Nah, that's a great question. I think like I mean we're brothers. I would just say, man, it just depends on where it's gonna have your mental well being at, right? Like there's certain people that you go through things with, and just have, and you could actually be fully healed from what you went through with that person, but just talking to them or engaging with them would make you so symptomatic,
yeah,
right? That it wouldn't even really be worth actually engaging with them ever again. And you hope to not get in situations like that, but sometimes it happens to
yes,
where it's like I can't afford to even talk to that person
correct,
or see that person ever again.
correct.
So it's all about, sometimes, some people can put Novocaine in their veins and just be like, hey, how are you?
Right.
Of what you've been up to,
See,
knowing that they don't even want to be sharing a space with them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
correct. Some people can be like that, and then at the same time, man, it's like you you really need to, again, recognize that I'm either going to face this
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
And if you are in that situation, then the reason I was even raising this question is because of your own personal awareness. Is I think it's
Yeah.
kind of about that. I think it's
Yeah.
your own personal awareness, your own personal understanding about this, and saying that, um I'm lost, because even going in that is really taking me, what I'm saying, it's a whole thing that's awkward, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to realize exactly who you are, what you are, and how you're going to deal with it and accept that stuff, and then take it and put it back, and attack it right then and there, and just chop it off. If it needs to be chopped off, chop it off.
Right.
If it needs
Yeah.
to no longer go any further, then no longer let it go forward. You know
Agreed.
what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And then the situation is no longer awkward,
Correct.
because you owned up to exactly who you are. You owned up to what it's supposed to be. You owned up
Facts.
exactly to who you are, knowing what you accepted. And I think a lot of folks don't know how to do that. And they end up in these situations where they keep saying, like, oh man, that was awkward. That was odd. And it's not even just about just being awkward. Like Diddy parties, like you said, are awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
why is that? And it's only awkward if you go in his parties and you're having an issue with what's going on at that party. For the people that his son and other people that frequent those parties, is not awkward for them.
no, right, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
good. You know
And
what I'm saying?
the I think it would have been awkward for me if I had been at a Diddy party. I
Definitely, like seeing, like, if you're just like going through the house and like you just trying to go to the kitchen or just trying to find a bathroom and you pass couples doing it, that's a lot, bro.
that's
Like
that's
you don't know that's going to be happening,
that's
right?
pretty hefty. And now they
Yeah,
got charges. I'm sorry, we're veering and everything, but now they got charges coming up talking about his sons. Like
it,
they're trying to pin stuff on his kids now.
we are. Oh, okay, so let's go ahead and slide off the great debate.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. Let's just go here and we're gonna get out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the public service announcement. I don't blow the dust off my bachelor's of science in legal studies.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there was a lot of talk about Epstein, people that went to his mansion, and when all the conspiracy theory, Tom Hanks is gonna go down. All this, listen, it's very hard to prove that all you were doing is just partying. The feds don't care if you like Diddy's parties. You're sniffing cocaine on the table. You got baby oil on butt cheeks, right? The feds don't care about that. What? What?
I'm laughing. I'm going. I'm listening.
Yeah, they don't care about that. Now, back to your point. If you are facilitating the drugs, if you're facilitating the trafficking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's what they care about. If you go to a Diddy party and you end up sleeping with someone who is in a sex trafficking ring, you didn't more than likely you didn't know that.
No, right, exactly.
You had no knowledge. If you knew that person was in a sex trafficking ring, that's where the culpability lies. And so with his sons, going back to his sons, and from some clips that I just saw, I think it was Tania that she came out. Was it Tania, the singer, who said she went to a Diddy party and she said that King Combs was all over her and was definitely a facilitator.
Yes.
Right. Trying to get her in the house. Apparently, they pick and choose who they want to go in the house, and she was one of them. And so, yes, there is, I would say, a 50-50 chance that his son will get caught up too.
Yeah.
I mean, they live in that house. They knew exactly what was going on.
It's not just about them being in the house. It's really about like some yacht party and everything that they was attended to. Some person possibly allegedly getting shot. This it goes deep. It's not just them knowing about they pops. It was like they were doing some shit also. You know what I mean? So like it's
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Is in the tree, the leaf don't fall far from the bush, or the apple don't fall far from the bush.
It's just wild, man. I want to say this. We got to get out of here. So, but it is wild. We grew up. We knew Puffy was a wild guy, but he also, man, had a mean business game, and he seemed to have it well kept together. And now we're finding out behind the scenes, the guy is absolutely reckless, bro.
Yeah, very reckless.
Just reckless, man.
Insanely reckless. And people are finally realizing. Like I stopped dealing with Puffy when it came down. Well, let me not say that. I want to say after Big died, the likeness and everything of him, but when it got exposed, like rappers being all the producers being all in the videos, all in this, that, and the other. He was that guy.
Yeah.
So was Master P though, but he was that guy, and like I wouldn't imagine that he was the one doing all this other stuff. And I think Corinne Steffens was the one that put it out there when she did it, talked about it in her book that he took her and Exhibit to some party allegedly. This is what I heard. He took them to some party and it was the party was so tough that Corinne Steffens, you know who she is.
Yeah.
And
that's Superhead, right?
Yes. Right. She was like, I'm straight.
Wow.
So she was like, yeah, I'm straight on this. It was one of them parties.
But I think about Kim. So obviously he was doing this when he was with Kim, and it kind of makes me question how long were they together? Like, how does that work? How do you have a wife? I mean, that makes me feel like, well, she must have been down with it to some degree.
It's been stuff coming up with J-Lo and Justin Bieber and all the rest of it. Hey man, we're gonna see. It's a whole lot more mess and everything coming out about this. Man.
You live long enough to see your heroes turn villains. That's a line from Jay-Z.
Turn villains. From Bill Cosby to R. Kelly, Puff Daddy. They tried to get Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was like, nope. He talked himself out of all kind of allegations. It was like 4 different women that came up, like he ran his hand up my arm. Like, nope. Nope. He wrote a whole thing. I was like, hey, this is what I did.
He came out with a manifesto, like
he came out shooting. And you see where he's at.
Right.
Star Talk. And that's my dog too. When that came up, I was like, man, not him. But yeah, they tried to get him. He was like, no. He said, because the cosmos
Yeah.
brought this woman to me. And you know, hey, he did it that quick. Like that is the most out of all people. Out of all people in the world, he did it that situation in the most G way possible. He backed off from his show. He disappeared for a month. He went away from his Twitter. He went away from all things. He went and he typed out his whole little explanation and put it out there and let the people decide. And next thing you know, a month later, he popped back on it, and everybody was like, "Yes, he's back.
He's back." That nice.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Diddy can't do that though.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. All right, man. Well, yeah, man. Back to the great debate, man. I think that I'm glad you brought that up, man. It's like, I guess what we were talking about, man, is just if you feel that sense of awkwardness, if you have that for somebody, you know what I mean? Either make up in your mind that you're going to sever ties because there's something still there if that vibe hits you. So you can either go to that person and handle it, or you could totally unplug, set your boundary, and move forward. You know
I'm about to get my Jerry Springer final thought. Let me take the screen for it.
Hey, put the background music.
Oh yeah, well, I don't have the background music. Don't worry. Hey everybody, I'm Volcano. Check this out. And I mentioned this while we were talking about it. It's and I've said this in the song before. Before you face the world, you must face yourself. And it's not what you see. It's not what you look at. It's what you see. You can look at a situation, but if you see negativity, if you see something broken, then are you really looking at the right thing? Are you really focusing in what should be fruitful to your life? Are you just focusing on what can be the stress and the mess in your life? I urge you, and I actually challenge people just say one day, then allow another day to turn into 2 days, and 2 days turn into 3 days of just trying to see things in the most positive light and aspect you possibly can. See what you're gaining from something. See what you're learning from something. Of course, you don't want to be at work. I don't. But there's some kind of gain that comes from that. I'm pretty sure there's something positive that you are able to take away from every scenario that you actually might deem as negative. If you start to do that, and I promise you, in some way, shape, or form, that you can build yourself up, have much less stress, and then be as fruitful to the rest of the world as possible. This is Star Talk. Clap it up for your damn selves, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Episode 7, man.
This was great. I'm glad we got back to doing this here. I'm glad we got this in. Some great stuff coming up pretty soon. Keep your eyes open. We're gonna be staying right here on YouTube. So make sure that you click the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell.
Man.
Hit all that stuff, so this way you know every time that we go live, you are able to be there front and center. And by all means, please share the wealth. Share this with everybody else. Let them know exactly where we at, who we are, and where we from. And
and all my people that tapped in the chat, man. Ben Frank, TT, Dog Called No. You know, man, we appreciate y'all for tapping in, man, and being involved, man. Y'all can hit the chat when we out here. You know,
that's DJ. That's Mr. No, that's DJ from Volcano and the New Radio Standard.
Oh, nice. Shouts out to you, bro.
Shouts out to it. Ben Frank, what up, though? I see you. TT, how you doing? Nice meeting you. All right, yeah. So we'll be back 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're gonna make sure that we're back here, right here in the Penthouse, right here in the underground, and keeping y'all lifted up. So by all means, have some fun this week. Let me get everything queued up for myself, Volcano, and for your boy DJ O Plays. You spending anywhere this week, man?
No, I got this week off, man. Next Saturday, I'm back at it.
Hey, let's do this.
What
you put up a live DJ set? I'm gonna put up a live DJ set. Let's.
Oh, I'm down. Okay.
Let's get this cracking. I think that'll be something dope to do. Catch us on if y'all aren't on the Facebook or anything with us. Make sure you tap in with us, and I think that'll be fun, man.
I'm with it.
Drop your mix. I'm gonna drop my heavy duty hardcore mix.
Okay.
Shouts out to that. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it.
For sure.
But for myself, Volcano, for your boy DJ Oplex, we are out of here. We will see y'all in 2 weeks, and make sure y'all keep it funky and make sure y'all tune back in with us once again when we return. Peace, hair grease, and soul. Peace.
We out, y'all.
Talking about music and the lifestyle we dream. Sipping on champagne, living in style. Underground penthouse where we reconcile. Discussing the good, the bad, the true. Underground music, what it means to you. Breaking down the beats, dissecting the rhymes. Spreading the love, one verse at a time. Our tuxedo, stepping out on the town. Underground penthouse, we hold it down. From the dim lit clubs to the streets at night. We shine a spotlight on the underground spot. Tuxedo, stepping out on the town. Underground penthouse, we hold it down. From the dim lit clubs to the streets at night. We shine a spotlight on the underground smile.